and welcome. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma and with me Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is a show where you get all your stock-related queries answered by our experts, so do get ready for that. But before coming to that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So finally a relief rally coming in for the Indian markets, and Cheryl, big boy Reliance supporting the index after 8 consecutive days of decline.
Absolutely, and that was the longest losing streak in about few years coming in for Reliance Industries. The 8th day of decline coming in. They managed to snap the 8-day losing streak in today's trading session. 2.5% uptick coming in for Reliance Industries. HDFC Life is the one that's actually ruling the chart. 3.2% uptick coming in for HDFC Life, top gainer on the Nifty as we speak. You also have L&T, Titan as well as Bajaj Finance also seeing good gains in today's trading session. Like Shrishti mentioned, yes, we are seeing some sort of relief rally, but we have moved tad bit lower from those elevated levels. Right now, we're just tad bit below the 17,050 mark in today's trading session. You have Nifty Bank that's moving in tandem with the benchmark indices, and as I'm speaking, you can see the markets actually try to give up those gains. But the advanced decline ratio so far is tilted to the favors of the advances. Talking about the losers, you have the FMCG names that are under pressure. So you have ITC, HUL that are among the top 3 Nifty losers. Add to that list, you have Power Grid as well. BPCL, Tech Mahindra are the other ones that are actually declining today's trading session. Tech Mahindra is also declining on back of that BOFA downgrade coming in on that particular counter. Talking about the sectoral indices then, and you have the PSU Bank Index. That's among the top gainer on the sectoral front. You have small cap index that's holding on to good gains, bucking or actually outperforming the benchmark indices. But on the flip side, it is the IT and the FMCG sector that are under pressure in today's trading session. So that's the way how the market setup is looking like. But Shrishti, one particular asset class that you got to take note of is definitely gold. And gold is shining, and how it's shining so bright that those who are trying to actually look to buy this particular asset must be thinking 10 times, because right now MCX gold surpasses 60,000 levels.
Well, yes, absolutely, Cheryl. Gold and in the international market as well was seen to be sitting at a 1-year high. And back in India, if we see some of these gold finance companies, interestingly, they have been shining bright, from the likes of Muthoot and Manappuram. Yesterday, when we did see a great rally in the safe haven gold, all these stocks were seen to be buzzing. So on today, Buy Now, Sell Now lens, we will be focusing on this particular topic with the rally in the gold prices in international as well as domestic markets. Is there any scope for move or a rally in these gold finance companies or not? Let's try and find out the answer from our experts, Kunal, Bothra as well as Rajesh Agrawal, joining in on the show. A very good morning, both of you. And Kunal, firstly, let me come to you, because at the start of the year, I remember you were very bullish on the gold prices, and now we are seeing that happening. So kudos to you firstly. And moving ahead to the main question, how do you see the gold prices going ahead? And back in India, which are some of the stocks, and how do you see the stocks from the likes of Manappuram and Muthoot benefiting, or how is the technical chart shaping up? Do you expect any rally in both of these counters as well?
Good morning, Srishti. Good morning, Cheryl, Rajesh, and everyone. So my belief is that this is a very strong rally, and first of all, thank you so much for that, Srishti. Yes, we did point out that gold would probably get into a very strong breakout mode at the fag end of 2022, start of 2023, and it's played out quite well. After an initial rally towards 58,000, we've now rallied towards the 60,000 plus mark for gold prices. And the interesting part is this chart where gold in terms of USD INR has still not given a confirmation of a breakout. Now the breakout for gold in terms of the USD terms is almost 5% away from the current level. So I think 2086, 2100 is the range for gold in terms of the dollar resistances. So which means there's scope for another 5% up move for gold in dollar prices before we head into a multi-year and a lifetime breakout for gold in dollar prices. And that in effect could probably result into gold in the INR prices also going into an upward trend. So would maintain the bullish stance on gold. My expectation is that at least over the very near term, we could be heading up for another 2,000 to 3,000 plus point rally on gold in terms of INR prices.
All right, another 2,000 to 3,000 uptick coming in for gold prices is where Kunal is envisaging it. That would actually take it to about 63,000 rupees per 10 grams. But Rajesh, I can see that smile on your face. I think this entire rally in the gold prices has given you a reason to not buy that gold ornament for your wife, isn't it?
Good morning, Cheryl, Srishti, Kunal. You said it right when you and Srishti were talking about gold. I was just thinking that how the uh, female uh, category is very much concerned about gold prices. Even in my home, everybody was like, "Abhi le lete hain, otherwise it will move up more." So yesterday only we had a chat on the screen. We should buy something, otherwise it's going to move up. Whereas I was on the equity side always. As far as gold loan companies are concerned, which is the topic of our today's discussion, I think gold companies are going to struggle. They continue to going to struggle because uh, their margins are going to be under pressure because of heavy competition from banking side. Despite the fact that gold prices have gone to a new highs, and high gold prices tend to boost gold loan companies, and the LTV, which has been increased during the pandemic, is also a positive factor. But despite all this, they are struggling because uh, gold loan portfolio, if you look at that, they saw over 16.2% year-on increase as on January. And bank loans are cheaper because NBFC or gold loan finance company, they take loan from bank, 50% of their funds from bank, and then extend to the customers and where they put their margins. So obviously, banking rates would be lower than what loan companies are offering. In such a scenario, we are not bullish on any of this. For trading purpose, there might be opportunities in Mannapuram or Mathur, but for investment, we are still avoiding both of them.
All right, so that's the view coming in on gold finance companies. But Rajesh, gold is definitely moving up, but when you talk about equities as an asset class, it's been pretty wobbly. And for what's your basically a strategy that retail investors should adopt to make sure that their wealth is protected, especially when they are invested in the equity as an asset class?
See, Sharif, very recently there has been a case of pump and dump via YouTube videos. That instant gave a thought in my mind that when there is a medical emergency, we do not take advice on a surgery from a medical influencer, do we? But then why do we take financial advice from social media, reels, or YouTube videos? That's a very dangerous thing. We have all read stories of Mahabharata. Kauravas were 100 in number, right? They were the rulers, had huge wealth and a large army, while Pandavas were in exile with almost no means and were only 5 in number. Yet they won. Do you know why? Because of their advisors. While Kauravas had Shakuni as their advisor and Pandava had Lord Krishna as their advisor. So I would say every investor, whether retail or HNI or UHNI, choose your advisors carefully. Avoid social media. That's the basic point to follow at this juncture because it's a age of social media. Everybody is addicted to that. And please do not follow reels or social media or YouTube videos for your investments.
Okay, so that's the interesting advice coming in from Rajesh, where he was trying to educate you while connecting with the mythology. So maybe investors should be looking out for Krishna right there for the markets. But with this, viewers, it's time to slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. As we come right back, we'll be taking all your stock-related queries, so stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, a show where we get you answers for all of your stock-related queries. You can connect to us live. We are live on Facebook as well as on Twitter. We are not live on YouTube as of now, but also you can write to us on a WhatsApp number that is flashing on the top of your screen. Do remember that every time you write a message to us, do mention your name. Also mention the stock that you're looking to invest in. If you've already invested in the stock, mention your buy price, also the quantity and the time horizon that you're looking to hold a particular counter. In that way, we will be able to help you better. But let me kickstart with the queries that are already piling up. And the first one is coming in from Sunny. And Sunny is writing to us from Japan. And yes, Sunny, it's good to see your message after a while, actually. He's a long-term investor. He's has a Biocon in his portfolio, about 1,500 shares at a price of around 285 rupees per share. He wants to know whether it's the right time to average or wait for further dips. His view is for the next 2 to 3 years. But given the fact that he's asking about whether he should average right now or not, I will take this query to you, Kunal. What's your take coming in on Biocon? What should Sunny do?
Well, I don't think you should look to average. The stock has disappointed clearly for last so many months as well as many quarters. Even at current levels, there was probably some expectation that maybe around this 220 to 30 mark where the stock was settling into a trading range, it would probably get into a bottom formation. But this last 2 days, 3 days of correction has probably dented the hopes for Biocon even in the near term. So I think it's always better to avoid such kind of names where the correction is very, very sharp and is more consistent and continuous rather than going into an averaging out. So I would suggest an avoid on Biocon, not to average at current levels specifically.
Okay, not to average at current levels. That's the advice for Biocon. We're moving on to the next question, and this question is on JK Tyres. Rajesh, Suresh is holding shares of JK Tyres from a price of 152 rupees. The stock is clearly in a downtrend, and it's almost near to his buying price. What should he do right now? Should he hold or exit at this point in time, or find other opportunities?
Srishti, I think one should continue to hold. We have seen auto numbers being very exciting month on month. The numbers are going on an uptake. Obviously, tire companies are going to gain. And not to forget, the rubber prices have also gone down. So all in all, the long term looks good. This is just because of the market is in a very bad mood from the last 3-4 months. That's why we have seen this kind of correction. But one can continue to hold.
All right, the next one that is coming in is from Vidya. She's writing to us from Chennai. A very good morning to you as well, Vidya. She's a short-term trader. She's looking for a fresh entry into Voltas, Tata Consumer, as well as Mahindra & Mahindra. She wants to know whether it's right time to buy or suggest some other good equity investments right now, or trading opportunities right now. Kunal, between Voltas, Tata Consumer and Mahindra & Mahindra, which one should you take the plunge in?
Well, I think all three of them are good in terms of setup. Voltas trading at 200-day moving average. Tata Consumer trading at its multi-month lows at the 700 mark. And Tech Mahindra on the other hand again is going through a time-wise correction, more keen towards the 1150 breakout. So Tech Mahindra, I would suggest that you should buy once the stock confirms a breakout about that 1150 mark, because that could speed up the move on the upside. Voltas, you can look to start buying at current levels of 840, 844. Because of the way most of the other peers are moving up higher, I believe sooner than later, it's a good zone where you can look to buy Voltas and then add on to Tech Mahindra about that 1150 mark.
You could just reiterate that level that you said about Voltas, because actually your audio kind of went to mute.
So it's around 840 is where you can look to buy Voltas, which is very close to the current market price.
Okay, moving on, and Kunal, once again coming to you. The question is from Venkat Rao, and he wants to know the safest level to enter HAL. What will be your advice? Using the word safe for markets will not be apt, but any levels to enter this particular counter in your mind?
Yeah, very true. Safest level is very difficult to determine, but then I think maybe closer to 2,450 could be a good level to enter HAL. That could also coincide with the 200-day moving average. Like in the last month or month and a half back, when the stock corrected, it bounced off from its 200 DMA and then started off a strong rally, making a new high for itself about the 2,800 mark. So a better level, I would say, to enter the stock would be around 2,400, 2,450 levels.
Okay, this one is coming from Sandeep, and Sandeep has a special message for you, Rajesh. He's saying he was really impressed and motivated by what you had to say about taking advice for investing linking to Mahabharata. He's also said, meanwhile, he's actually started watching the epic show on Hotstar for the second time. He's mentioned the fact that tomorrow is his daughter's birthday. It's in Nyanvi. If I have mispronounced it, Sandeep, I'm very sorry about that. And he's building a portfolio basically for her. GNFC or any other recommended stock for the long term, Rajesh?
First of all, thank you for appreciating the advice, and very happy happy birthday to your daughter. GNFC, yes, it's on valuation parameter, it's very good, trading at a PE of around 5. TDI is going to be a game changer because most of the companies across the world have stopped producing, and that's going to add to the margins of this company. And the best thing is it has corrected quite a lot from its recent highs. I think one can add this for a longer term horizon. But as far as your daughter is concerned, you're considering for her, I think you should go for large cap companies, out of which I would recommend going for Reliance or RITC.
Right, but on behalf of the entire team, ET now and Buy Now, Sell Now, very happy birthday, dear Nyanvi. Hope you have a great year, and it's great that your daddy is already putting up a good portfolio for you for the longer term, isn't it, Shrishti?
Well, yes, absolutely. And Rajesh also shared the birthday pics, probable birthday pics for her. So, advance happy birthday to you. But let's move on. And the next query, Rajesh, is coming from Samrat. He's holding shares of Tata Power and sitting in a good profits right now because he entered 500 quantity at a price of 100 rupees. He still wants to hold this counter, so just wanting to know the future prospects of the company and how do you see the stock price moving ahead?
See, I'm very happy to know that somebody is sitting on a profit in Tata Power, because in the recent times, everybody is saying that like they are suffering loss in Tata Power, despite the fact that's a very good company, not only in power, but also in renewable energy. They have recently sold some stake in renewable energy, and that's going to help them. So all in all, this company is very good for a long term. We have a target of around 275, 280 in the next 12 to 18 months. So we have a buyer call in this. One can continue to hold, and if the funds allow them, one can even add to that.
Well, coming from Bisaka from Kolkata, yesterday she had asked about Apollo Microsystems, and we didn't. Kunal did not have a coverage on it, nor did we have Shahina also cover that particular counter. Do you cover it by any chance, Rajesh? If not, then I will move to another query altogether.
The company is basically catering to defense sector as such, and we all know how government is hell-bent and making Make in India concept in defense. So I think this company is also going to be benefited considering the order book and all. At this point of time, the level maybe 250 to 60 odd levels would be a good level to enter.
Basically, you have Bisaka who's already entered into this counter, Rajesh. The buy price is about 224 rupees per share, and 100 shares is what she has. So, stay put with this or book out profits?
See, if he's not in need of funds, so I don't think 10-20 rupees would be anything, considering the fact that one is considering the stock for a longer term. For a longer term, yes, the defense story is going to be good. One can continue.
Okay, moving on to the next query. And Rajesh, this one is for you. The question is from Bharat, and he is looking for value investment in BHEL as well as Blue Star. For investment purposes, would you suggest any of these counters to enter at current market price?
See, at current market price, I think Blue Star would be a better bet out of the two, considering the fact that the kind of heat wave, El Nino, and all those things which we are hearing from the meteorological department, I think this kind of company, AC companies, would be doing very well. One can take a target of 1580, 1600 odd rupees and invest in every dips.
Okay, this one's coming from Renuka Thomas. She's writing to us from Trivandrum. She's holding sale Kunal at a price of 105 rupees per share for the last 1 year. She wants to know whether she should continue to hold or look to exit, and also between SAIL and Tata Steel, which one is better?
I think I would recommend to hold on to SAIL as of now. In the last 1 month, SAIL has been an outperformer as compared to most of the other metal stocks, which have gone through a correction, I think somewhere around 10%, 15% on an average. So that itself tells you that the stock has been standing quite tall. Now, you can also add Tata Steel, because my belief is that the stock is entering into an oversold territory, and possibly in the next 1 to 3 months, this stock should also get into a strong bottom out formation. So if you have a longer term time horizon, just like what you have for sale, then I believe you can start nibbling at current levels for Tata Steel, and assuming if the stock corrects to say 95 or 97 odd mark, possibly in the next 1 to 3 months, take that as an opportunity to average further and then hold on to it from long-term play.
Okay, Rajesh, coming to you for the next one, since we are discussing about the gold finance companies, the question is on Manappuram Finance. Subramaniam is holding 35 shares at a price of 118. He wants to know, should he accumulate more at the current market price or any short-term targets that you have in mind? But you did suggest that you don't have a very bullish outlook for all these gold finance companies. So would you ask him to move out and look for other opportunities, or continue to hold on for some bounce as well?
See, if it's a trading position, I think one should wait for 120, 122 odd rupees, and at that point of time, book profits. As far as new investment or of a medium to long term, we won't recommend any of the gold finance companies. Rather, there are better NBFC names like Bajaj Finserv that's corrected from 1800 odd rupees to all the way to 1200, and that's sitting on a very strong fundamentals. I think one can you put new money into Bajaj Finserv.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on Bajaj Finserv. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. When we come back, we'll continue taking all of your stock-related queries, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Buy Now Sell Now, a show where you get all your stock related queries answered by the experts. And continuing with the same, moving with the next question. And Kunal, the next question is for Karthik, and this one is specifically for you. He's holding shares of Valiant Organics. He's holding 251 shares from a price of 560 rupees. So currently at a loss, but he says that he's okay booking the loss and exiting the counter, but just need your advice on the best possible price to exit this week itself. So what will be your view on this?
Well, I think you should hold on. Now, I think it's not as if that your buy price is extremely steep at 1500 or 1800 plus for Valiant Organics. The stock in the last few months have seen pickup of volumes. In fact, this month, the stock is going through a one of the best volumes at least so far, and the fall has seems to have arrested for Valiant Organics. So that in itself is probably giving an indication that the stock is nearing a major bottom formation. And when that happens, we can expect a very strong and a stellar recovery. So I believe that you should hold on to your investments over here. Don't look to rush into the selling as of now. My sense is that once the bottom formation process is done, you could be looking at least a 600 to 650 as a potential target.
Okay, this one is coming from Kumar. He's writing to us from Kanchi, and he's an aggressive investor is what he's saying, Rajesh. He wants to invest for the long term in multi-baggers. Which one are those multi-baggers that you think that he can invest in over the longer term?
See, multi-baggers are not identified in a day or two. You have to track every quarter numbers, whether the company is performing, whether the industry is performing, and you revise your investment strategy time by time. At this point of time, there are many stocks which can be bought for a longer term, maybe IRCTC or LG Balakrishnan, FIM Industries. But I don't guarantee that they are going to be a multi-bagger, because it all depends on how the performance is. So what I would suggest is keep a watch on the performance every quarter and the news flows, and continue with your investment unless something very drastic happens with the company. Many of the stocks can turn multi-bagger if the performance is continuous for a very long period of time.
Okay, moving on to the next question. And Kunal, this question is from Sonali. She is holding two counters. Firstly is 3,000 shares of Nalco at an average price of 86 rupees, and the other one is 3,500 shares of Bharat Electronics at an average price of 101. What is the? How do you see the prospects of both of these counters for the next 1 month?
So again, I'm not sure of the next 1 month, because the market will be a tad bit more volatile, like what we've seen over the last 3-4 months. But then if you have a time horizon of, say, the next 3 months or so, then I think both these stocks are something which you can hold on to as of now. BEL apparently has been one of the very low to moderate beta kind of a stock, managed to absorb most of the market volatility, trading closer to its 200 moving average. But I believe with the entire defense pack looking attractive, the stock can make a comeback for itself even the likes of Nalco, for example, the stock is going into a time-wise correction rather than a major price correction. The major price correction already happened, I think, in the month of June, July 2022, when the stock fell sharply from 120 to almost 70, 75. So it's going through a time-wise correction at these levels, and makes sense to hold on to it from a medium to slightly longer term kind of a play.
This next one is for you, Kunal, and it's a long list that Balan has given to us. And yes, Balan, we are not live on YouTube, so this is the best way that you can connect to us via WhatsApp number. He's writing to us from UAE, Kunal, and he has about 8 stocks that he's asking about, or 9 for the matter of fact: BEL, CDSL, BSC, Bajaj Finserv, ITC, Power Grid, and NTPC. He wants to buy 4 out of these stocks for the period of 6 to 12 months.
Tough one to remember all the 8 names, but I think out of the names which you mentioned, BEL is something which I would recommend at current levels. ITC is something which I would recommend even at current levels. I think the best for ITC is not, I think there could be another leg of up for ITC. It's now going through a patch of consolidation, so maybe around this 370 odd mark is where you can look to accumulate ITC. From the other names, I think some of the names which I believe could probably hold very good over the near to medium term kind of price trends. For example, we were discussing earlier that Reliance Industries could make a comeback about 20 to 50 mark. Today the stock has made a very strong comeback about those levels. ICICI Bank is something which I believe is another stock which you can be looking out for. So you can add BEL, you can add ITC, but the other 2 stocks is what I would recommend: ICICI Bank as well as Reliance Industries.
Okay, moving on to the next query, and Rajesh Deepak is writing to us for the first time. He has queries on 2 counters. Firstly is Escorts. He's holding 20 shares at an average price of 1800 rupees. Is that a hold or sell at this point in time? And the other counters is HAL. We did discuss with Kunal about this counter, but I'm getting 4-5 queries on this particular counter itself. So let me have your view on this one. Many of them are asking that, is this a good time to enter HAL, or what is the outlook ahead in the medium to long term for HAL? So would you suggest on this point in time? But for Deepak, he's holding 10 shares at an average price of 2500 rupees. So he's at a profit in HAL as well. So your advice?
See, both are a hold from our side. HL for a longer term horizon, one can continue to hold. As I said, defense is going to be a theme for the next year or 2 going forward because of the government initiative of Make in India and the strong order books they have. Although valuations at this point of time seems to be stretched because of the run-up they have witnessed, but still their prospects are very good. One can continue to hold. As far as Escorts is concerned, I think after the entry of Kobuta, the dynamics have changed. The long-term outlook remains very positive. We have a target of 2400 in the next 18 months. One can even add to this counter at this point of time.
All right, this one is coming in from Rakesh. He's writing to us from Ghaziabad. He has Rallis India at a price of 700 rupees per share. He also has investments in IOC at 89, also Nalco at 85, PFC at 150. For the long term, for at least 1 year, which of these investments should he stay put with, Kunal?
Can you repeat the name once again? You said
it's Rallis India at a price of 196, IOC at 86, Nalco at 85, Power Finance Corporation at 150. I like how all MCQ questions are coming to you.
Absolutely, Cheryl. I think the second name which you mentioned was Power Finance, right?
The last one was Power Finance at the price of 150 rupees. The second one was IOC at 86.
So these are the 2 names, the IOC and Power Finance, which I believe looks attractive. Now, I'll share a reason for that, because I think in the last 2 or 3 months, it's the OMC stocks which have made a very strong comeback. Now, the setup could be that crude oil prices are correcting. They've corrected very sharply, and the base for crude oil prices is shifting lower with every passing time. That could be one of the more advantageous reasons for betting on the OMCs from here on. Even the likes of BPCL, HPCL, they've made a very good comeback. So I believe IOC could stand quite strong from a medium to long term play, even though the stock is low beta. But I believe that the trends are changing significantly for the stock. PFC is the other name, and I think I've been very bullish on PFC earlier as well. We flagged off many a times a trading call on PFC. I sense that the stock has confirmed the breakout on a multi-year time scale. So it's very rare to see a PSU stock going into a breakout of 3 year, 5 years, 7 year, 10 year kind of a time frame. I think PFC has managed to confirm that. So these are the two names which I would advise: IOC as well as PFC.
Okay, moving on to the next question, and Rajesh, coming to you for this one. Parvinder Singh is holding 40 shares of Uno Minda. He entered this counter back in December month, and he's holding this from levels of 540 rupees. Currently at a loss, this particular counter was in news as well. So he can still hold for the next 1 year. So are you hoping for a recovery in this particular counter?
Yes, one can continue to hold. The company is going well and the workings are going well. Auto ancillary as such is going to do well because of auto numbers being good. This correction is just because of market correction, which we are all witnessing in almost every stock, every sector. So there's nothing to worry on fundamental side. One can continue to work.
All right. Just a clarification. There's another one that is coming in for Uno Minda. Wants to know to buy at current levels. Your answer stays the same, right, Rajesh?
Right. All right. If somebody is ready to hold for 12 months, one can buy.
Okay, another one coming in from RK. He's a regular viewer of our show, and he's bought Reddington, but he is suffering a 15% loss in the last 2 months. He wants to know whether he should hold on to it or look to switch to Jyoti Rasayan or CMS Info, Kunal, or any other stocks in the materials category.
Well, not tracking Jyoti Rasayan, so won't be able to offer any comment. CMS Info, I think the stock has disappointed, even though the price history is limited because of the recent listing for the stock price. But that stock, I think, has clearly disappointed. So I would not suggest shifting on to these two names. If you're, I'm not sure if you're specifically looking out for the material space, but I think if there is any other sector or a stock which you are open with in terms of investing, then I would recommend either Policy Bazaar as well as Vector Foods. I think both these stocks hold extremely strong potential of further gains on a medium to longer term kind of a time scale. And I think both these stocks have very attractive chart patterns. So if you're okay with shifting to other sectors, then I would recommend these two names.
Okay, moving on, and Rajesh, coming to you for the next one. This one's going to be tough because Murli is holding 100 shares of Car Trade at an average price of 1100 rupees. A lot of these investors are stuck in this particular counter, which is seeing new lows day by day. So what's your advice on this one? He needs a suggestion. Is that a hold or sell? And what are the long-term prospects for this particular company?
Just Rishi, you said it right. It's going to be tough because advising a sell after such kind of massive loss is really tough, but there are no choices. You have seen the numbers been pretty bad, and there are no hopes that something miraculous is going to happen. If for market reason it goes up by 5-10%, that's a different story, but fundamentally it's a sell.
It's coming from Kabir Bedi, and I did mention yesterday Kabir Bedi, not the actor one. Today Kabir has instead of mentioned the fact that he's not the actor but definitely can be drama king at some times. But yeah, that's good to know. All of us are actually Kabir. But he has 300 shares of Avanti Feeds at a price of 375 rupees per share. He bought this a few days ago. Kunal wants a medium-term view on Avanti Feeds. 3 to 6 months is his time horizon.
Well, I would recommend an exit. I think the stock has been a huge underperformer. Last 6 months, the stock has corrected from 500 to now I think 335, where it's trading. It's significantly below the long-term averages, and the fact is that every rally towards this 200-day moving average, the stock goes into a time-wise correction and then corrects further in terms of prices. So the setup itself is not very attractive. I would recommend to exit.
Okay, interesting to note that Sandeep today, one of our regular viewers, is not sending us those angry smileys because I'm taking his query next. And Rajesh, Sandeep is holding 200 shares of Nippon Life at an average price of 293. What will be your advice on this particular counter? Is that a hold or sell?
See, time is not a factor. I think one can continue to hold. It's trading at a huge discount to other AMC companies. And with the recent tax structures on insurance for 5 lakh and above premium, I think some of the money is going to move to AMC business. And Nippon being one of the undervalued stocks, one can continue to hold.
Okay, this one is coming in from Chandrasekharan. He's writing to us from Chennai. He's holding Allied Digital at a price of 2,500 rupees per share. His average price is 121 rupees per share. He's in 38% loss. Kunal, should he average at this level, exit or book loss? He can hold on for 1 year if you advise.
Well, I would recommend to exit. The stock has been trending down, significantly. I think even at current levels, if I'm not wrong, it's a stock which is reeling below the 200 EMA, and I think that's been the case for the stock over the last 7 or 8 months. I think September, October 2022 is where the stock had broken below those levels. So again, a stock which has corrected very sharply, would recommend an exit.
Kunal, another stock which is seen to be trending down is Bajaj Finserv, and Vaishnavi is holding 30 shares of this particular counter from a price of 1762 rupees. What should he do? What should she do next? Is that an average at this point in time, and any hopes on recovery going further?
I would be hopeful on recovery for Bajaj Finserv as well as Bajaj Finance. Now, I'm actually waiting out for the indicators to come into an oversold territory. So I think they may be a few days away, or maybe another leg of last correction away from the indicators coming into an oversold territory. That could probably be a very good zone if you're looking to average, and that could significantly drop down your average cost price as well. So maybe that level could be say closer to 1200 mark or slightly below those levels. So I'll suggest a wait and a hold as of now. No need to average at current levels, but in case if the stock dips say sharply towards the 1200 mark or below, that could be a point where you may look to average.
Okay, this one is coming in from Satya. I believe he's not mentioned his name. Please do mention your name henceforth. Wants to advise on IDFC First Bank, entered at a price of 56 rupees per share. Kunal.
Well, I think I am bullish on IDC First Bank. Yes, the stock has been more sideways in the last many months, but the chart structures in the breakout for IDC First Bank is on the monthly term time scale. And these stocks, they have a tendency of going into a time-wise correction, because when there is too much of expectation, when the data seems to be clearly out, that's where the stocks consolidate, patience gets tested for long-term investors, and eventually once the stock breaks out, it tends to reward many long-term investors. So I would believe that have a longer-term kind of a view for IDC First Bank. I'm extremely bullish on the stock from a long-term play, and I would recommend as well as suggest a hold.
Okay, so that's the advice coming in on IDFC First Bank. But with this, viewers, it's time once again to slip into a short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. Let me continue taking all of your queries. This one is actually coming in from Sudeep from Goa, and he's asked me multiple questions, but I will take the one he's asking on the best railway stock to invest in for the longer term. He's given me 3 options as well. Rajesh, like I said, it's the day of MCQs, looks like it. IRFC, IRCON or RVNL. Which among these 3 stands out if you have to invest in railway stocks?
See, on valuation, I would go with IRCTC. That's out of the syllabus, I would say, which the gentleman has given me. But still, on valuation parameters and the kind of functioning they are doing, all their divisions, be it ticketing, rail, near, catering, or tourism, are doing very well. We have seen the kind of travel and tourism industry growing in the last 1 year or so. I think this stock has been beaten down from a very high levels to these valuations. The valuations look very attractive. I think for a longer term horizon, one can go long on IRCTC.
Okay, moving on to the next one. And Kunal, this one is on Reliance, which is seeing an uptick after 8 consecutive days of decline, up almost 3% in today. And Suraj is actually holding 25 shares of Reliance at a price of 2,316 rupees. He wants to know the prospects for the next 2 years, and and should he go to average this particular counter at current market price?
Well, yes, I would advise so, because even yesterday when we were discussing about Reliance Industries, I mentioned that it's always better to wait out for that first phase of rally and let the stock cross about that 20 to 50 mark. Today the stock has managed to cross about that 20 to 50 levels, and that's a sign of confirmation that a near-term bottom could be in place for Reliance Industries. So I think if you bought at higher levels, good time for you to look to average. My belief is that in terms of recovery, if this recovery sustains for the stock, then we will be looking at even 2,400, 450 as a target for the next 1 to 3 months for the stock.
All right, this next one is coming in from Bhaskar Das. He's writing from Thanjavur, and he wants to know, is it feasible to purchase Motherson Sumi wiring at current price, Kunal?
Well, I would not recommend so. The stock seems to be just getting into a very sluggish kind of a trend. not showing any major kind of a impactful trend for the stock in the near to medium term. Even the stock has gone through a correction, I think over the last 1.5 odd month as well. So I believe on that prospect, I would suggest an avoid.
Okay, Rajesh, coming to you for the next one. Pawan wants to invest in Zydus Wellness for at this point in time, and his investment horizon is for the next 5 years. Your view?
It's a low liquidity stock, but it's a very good stock, I would say. Fundamentals are very strong. The product profile is very good. Valuations are very attractive. We have a target of 2000 plus in the next 2 years. Yes, one can add.
All right, this next one is coming in from Samaresh Sinha. He's writing to us from Alibag, and what a beautiful weather actually to be in Alibag today, isn't it, Kunal? But he's holding Samil 500 shares at a price of around 83 rupees per share. He suffered a loss of more than 23% already on that holding. Now he wants to know whether what should he do, hold or exit, Kunal?
Absolutely great weather, Cheryl, undoubtedly, and I think much more relief from the heat where the Mumbaikars were coping up with. But then coming up to Samvardhana Motherson, I think the last 1 month of price trend, not even 1 month, I think the last 2 weeks of the sharp price correction for the stock reinstates the fact that the long-term trend which has been bearish for the stock, that continues for Motherson Samvardhana Motherson. So I would believe that you should use any kind of a rally like what happened for the stock maybe a month back when it moved up to I think 80, 82 levels, and take that as more trading play. So this is a stock which I think just goes into a strong uptrend from a very short-term play, and these are the kind of stocks which you should use for trading rather than investing. So I would believe use any major rallies which comes by into the stock price as a good zone to exit.
Okay, but Cheryl, is Kunal sitting in Alibag because he's not in the studios today?
Is it, Kunal? Is that where you are? No, but to be honest, actually the weather is bad as a actor, and given the fact that Mumbai traffic and to get a cab during the monsoons is really difficult. So yes, I'm on your side, Kunal, don't worry. But let's kickstart with the rapid fire then. And this one is coming from Pratisha from Muscat. Wants to know about Sona BLW, Kunal. Buy price is 445 rupees per share. Can average right now, can hold for 6 months.
Yeah, I think good level to average at current levels of 400, 405.
Okay, Kunal, once again, the question is for you. Vivek wants to know prospects for CDSL. Is this a good stock to add in portfolio?
I would recommend CDSL. I would probably also recommend CAMS as a better stock to average in your portfolio.
One more coming your way, Kunal. Bamalori investment at current levels. Is it worth buying right now? Arvind from Kolkata is asking.
Yeah, I think it's a classical stock. Exceptional history for the stock. Would recommend a buy.
Okay, Rajesh Karthik is holding 29 shares of Angel One from a price of 1300 rupees. Is that a hold or sell?
It's a hold at this point of time.
Kunal, Manjunath has PNB at an average price of 58 rupees per share in a loss right now. What to do, sell or hold?
I think we should definitely look to hold.
Okay, Rajesh, the next question is from Apurva, and she's holding shares of Balaji Mines from a price of 3172 rupees. How long she has to wait for the recovery in this particular counter is the question.
See, how long is a difficult question to answer because of the kind of correction, but it's a ad at this point of time.
Okay, we had a viewer ask about Samil for 5 years. Rajesh, what's your view on this one? Because we already had Kunal's view on Samil.
See, for 5 years, one can continue to hold. The company is good. It's only the time-wise correction which is taking.
Okay, Rajesh, once again for you, SK Saran wants to know any of your best picks from the mid-cap space for fresh investment right now.
Right now, we are bullish on LG Balakrishnan. One can have a look at that.
Okay, another one coming from another Manjunath writing from Chennai. Can enter Apollo Hospitals at right now, or which is the best price, Kunal?
I would recommend a hold, not to add at current levels. Wait out for a correction of at least 5 to 7%.
Okay, but with this, viewers, it's time to wrap this edition of Rapid Fire as well as Buy Now, Sell Now. Thank you so much, Rajesh and Kunal, for joining us today and helping all our viewers with their stock-related queries. But with this, it's a goodbye from me and Cheryl and the entire team who put this show together. Thank you so much for watching.